Just imagine that I were to walk up to somebody and introduce myself by saying, "Hello, my name is Ken and I have autism syndrome." Oh, or "Hello, my name is Ken and I have autism." How do you think that person would react or respond? Well, chances are they're not going to respond positively because that just sounds kind of weird. Now, what's worse is they probably are not totally aware of what autism is or Asperger syndrome, or they're totally unaware of what it is. So just that pronouncement in and of itself is going to push them away because they're going to think we're a little quirky, we're a little nuts. And if we do it that way, to be honest with you, yeah, we probably are. But to be honest with you again, I don't know of any person with Asperger syndrome who would actually do that. Maybe so. But no, they wouldn't. No one would walk up and say, "Hello, my name is Ken," or whatever your name is, and I have autism. At least I hope you wouldn't do that. But we do something very similar, and that is early on in our relationship with the person, even if it's a casual relationship, somehow we have this compulsion to let people know who we are when it comes to our behavior, because they are sensing that there's something amiss, something that is not typical. And so we feel this need that we're going to have to spell this out so they'll know right from the onset that we have Asperger syndrome. Now, but let me make it clear that there's nothing to be ashamed of when it comes to having Asperger syndrome. In fact, to the contrary, we should be kind of proud of it because I think it has some wonderful traits that are, we call them superpowers, or beneficial. So there's nothing to be ashamed of, but by the same token, people just don't get it. They don't understand it. Most people don't realize what autism is, and a lot of people don't want to sit around and listen to us explain it. So it may be better. There is a time and place to let people know, but at the beginning of a conversation, probably not the best. At the very beginning of a relationship, probably not the best. But at some point in time, yeah, you're going to have to let it know. But we push people away when we do it too quickly. That's just my opinion. If you have a different opinion, and you may have a good reason for having a different opinion, maybe you think we should let people know from the outset. Just let everyone know in the comment section. Number two is what I call this problem with self-blame, which is not just an Aspie problem. A lot of people have this problem, and that is we take the blame for just about everything. There is a point in time when we need to apologize and say that we're sorry, especially when we screw up big time. I have done things in my past that, not big problems, but things that, I probably shouldn't have done, or things that I should have done, and I made amends. I recall, man, it's like 40 years ago. I had dinner with a friend, business associate, I guess, insurance agent, and I forgot my wallet. I couldn't pay for my dinner, so he had to pay for it. And the dinner was at my invitation. I invited him, and then, oops, I lost my wallet. I forgot my wallet. I happened to see his ad on Facebook, and yeah, he's like my age, maybe a little bit older. So we're getting up there, right? But still, that thing was in my mind, and I saw his ad. I said, I owe that guy lunch. So I made amends. I bought some gift cards for popular restaurants, and I mailed them to him with a note of explanation. And he sent a letter back to me and thanked me, nice guy. So he understood. But that type of self-blame, I think when we accept a responsibility for what we've done wrong, that's perfectly okay. If you screw up, own it. But there's something about some of us that we want to own up to mistakes all the time, even when we don't actually make the mistakes or someone else made the mistakes. We'll just take the blame. We'll be the fall guy, we'll be the nice guy, and if we do, well, people will like us. Now, what they will do is they'll push us away. When we are constantly taking the blame for just about everything, and some people actually do this. Now, maybe you don't do it, but I know some people who actually do that. They're just too eager to take the blame, to take the fault. Thinking, again, in the back of their mind, that people got to like them because, well, this guy he's just nice, he just takes the fall. No, they don't. They're not going to like you. Now, some people may be glad you did it because it got them off the hook, but it's not a smart thing to do that. But again, what we're talking about is pushing other people away. So put it in this context. Do you know somebody who is always taking the blame for everything, always being at fault even when they're not? Do you find that an attractive characteristic trait? Character trait, rather? I don't maybe disagree with me, but that's fine. Number three, this is a little bit difficult to explain. But number three, the way that people with Asperger syndrome push other people away is through what I would call just abject loneliness. That is, sometimes we can't help it. We've talked about this in other videos, but we're just so lonely and that we are excluded by being exclusive. That is to say, we just don't say anything ever. And it's hard. It's hard to sometimes talk because that is the way that some of us are just hardwired. Still, that is something that pushes other people away. So we have this difficulty, we have this problem where we are just, there's some people that we just can't connect with. That is very difficult too. Other people connect with fine, but some people, it's just not there. We just cannot do it. And people pick up on the fact that we're not connecting with them, but they don't know why. All they know is that we're just not connecting, and they think maybe this guy doesn't like me, or maybe this guy's being rude, or maybe this guy's being a jerk, or maybe he's being aloof, or whatever. So we wrap ourselves inside this insular bubble, and we come across as being a lonely individual, the loner. Well, again, as I said at the onset, sometimes you can't help that, but sometimes, well, maybe we can. Maybe we can make an effort to project ourselves a little more personable when we are encountering other people. Not an easy thing to do, is it? But yeah, we can do it. Number four is kind of the opposite, and that is being over-interested. I recall sometimes when I would visit a church, they would be over-interested to the point where they are very annoying. I can understand somebody coming up being friendly, ask me your name, but what else do you need to know? Why do you need to know what I do for a living? Why do you need to know how old I am? Why do you need to know where I live? What are you, a police officer pulling me over for a ticket? You need to know all that stuff? To me, that's very annoying, and sometimes we are over-interested in people to the point where we're just nosy, Have people done that to you where they ask you this, they just put you through this litany of questions? Makes you very, very, very uncomfortable. So when we do that, we need to be careful because a lot of Aspies just not skilled at conversation. So we'll ask or say just about anything just to talk and to hear an echo back at us, something said back to us. Oh, we have a conversation. To me, that's not a conversation. That's an interrogation. So, and I mentioned church, but some people do this just about anywhere, just trying to be friendly, That's not friendly, that's being nosy. Trying to be friendly, give you a thumbs up for that, but that's not the way it comes across, so we push people away unintentionally. Then number five is something that, again, this is not an Aspie thing. I think everyone does this, and that is underestimating what I would call pain. I was trying to think what to call this, so that's the best I came up with, but people are hurting. People sometimes have difficult challenges in their life. It could be physical, could be financial, could be emotional, could be family problems, could be who knows what, relationship problems of another kind. Could be the neighbor's a bad guy, could be they're mad at the government or whoever the elected official happens to be, so they're all upset about that. People get upset over all kinds of things. And it's very easy for us to brush those things aside and, come on, is it really that big of a deal? Or, more likely, we just don't care. We don't even hear it. That is what I call underestimating pain. We, as Aspies, sometimes are accused of lacking empathy, and I don't think we do, at least effective empathy. We lack cognitive empathy, but not most of us, but not effective empathy. But we just don't show it. And sometimes if we couple that not showing it by actually not having it, not having effective empathy, by underestimating somebody's hurt or what they're going through, the challenges they face, you'll make it. Or someday you'll look back on this and laugh. We'll say stupid things like that, which kind of saying, your hurt is not really a big deal. When it is, okay, let's flip it. Now, have you ever been in that situation where you've been going through something very difficult, very challenging, and somebody said something to the effect that minimalized it? Where, no, it's not that difficult of a situation. You've gone through it before, you've come out the other side. They say these things sometimes with good intentions, but typically it comes across as, don't hurt as bad as you think you do. When sometimes they may hurt worse than they're coming across. So we push people away when we underestimate their pain. 5 things I came up with. All right. Now, we have people watching the video. They may wonder, are there some other things? And if you have something on mind that you can think of that I overlooked, you can use the comment section to communicate to others. So you can talk back and forth and share your thoughts as well as my thoughts. 2 rectangles on the screen there for a purpose. That's if you want to keep the conversation going. All you got to do is click one of those 2 rectangles, and we'll keep on talking. If not, thanks for stopping by, and we will see you all next time.